All right, Tuesday night, Raj in the house in a regular time slot. I'm really dragging, coming out of New Orleans. As you can tell, bags under my eyes. I have not slept in a long, long time. This is going to be the last stream of the night before we call it quits. But we got a lot to get to. We're going to rehash the Niner game. Raj has got the Week 18 jersey going. We got a lot to get to. Sleepers bringing us. We're, also, of course, brought to you by Habas. We're brought to you Habas Law. We're brought to you by our good friends at Pig and a Pickle. Let's go. Off and running Tuesday night. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday night. Giants and D-backs on the tube, by the way. We're here to talk Niners. Welcome to the Kreuger Show. Brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. They do run out. So get there early, get some brisket. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Tell them Krug sent you. And we're also brought to you by Sleeper. We'll tell you more about the Sleeper. Brought to you by Habas Law. It's Tuesday night and Raj is here. We got a lot to get to. I've watched the game. I've kind of rewatched bits and pieces of it as well. Looked at all the breakdown numbers wise. And I want to get into a few of the themes that we saw in week 2, Raj, and just, what's reality and what's not. I'm listening to some commentary today about, people saying, well, this is why the Niners shouldn't have paid Brock Purdy because they had Mac Jones, and Mac Jones can do this. And anybody can do this in Kyle's offense. You knew that was coming. Anybody can do this in Kyle's offense. People forget quarterbacks were 9-29, not named Garoppolo when Purdy came in that Miami game in 22. 9-29. So it's not like any quarterback can win with the Niners. And they have one who won in Brock Purdy. He's gone to a Super Bowl. They believe they can win a Super Bowl with him. I believe that. I don't know if all Niner fans do. I think there are many that don't. But I think he can do it. Other people think that no, he's already played his best ball, and now he's gotten paid. He's not going to be good. There's a lot of pessimistic people going, you know what? They should just, go with Mac Jones. Obviously, that's overreaction time. Brock's their guy, $265 million a year, contract that says so. And his play. And we're not even entertaining anything on that front. It's just, where are you with Mac Jones, I guess is the question. Is Mac Jones going to be an absolute revelation in this offense? Was it the Saints or garbage?
Yeah, it's a good question. And everybody's hyped up on Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. You know what? I said it all offseason that he's going to be a good backup. Like, he'll understand the system. We got a glimpse of why Kyle Shanahan wanted him. He knows pro sets. He was a quarterback that, played in a pro-style offense in college. And, he didn't have that high ceiling. So he wasn't the guy that you trade up to number 3 to get. So I feel like a lot of people were down on him back in the draft. But he's not a bad quarterback. But I don't think he's this unbelievable talented quarterback. I give him a lot of props for coming in on the road, and he answered a lot of critics. And he went 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. But it was the Saints. I'm not going to sit there and trash the Saints because they played great. But it is a bad team, a team with really nothing to lose. So I need to see Mac Jones consistently do it. If he can come out this weekend, home game, the home opener against Arizona Cardinals, a team that's pretty much had our number lately. They're a pesky team. It's hard to beat them. Rivalry game, division game is tough. But I like Mac. I think he's a good backup. Now, the only other thing is he's definitely not Brock Purdy. He's not as good as Brock, but he can manage to win games in this system, which was what we said all along, all offseason. I said, hey, look, if Mac Jones comes in, I have confidence in him to win a few games, maybe a game, maybe 2, maybe 3, depending on the games you play. But you need your starting quarterback. Again, Niners right now are going through a lot of adversity, and they're pushing through. I'm happy that he won, but I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be the starter. Now, here's the thing with Brock Purdy's toe, right? He avoided a major injury like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has a turf toe, but he needs surgery, and he's going to be out for 3 months. Now, Brock, right, he should be back in the next couple of weeks. Now, if he re-aggravates the toe and then Brock Purdy has to miss more time, then I'll tell you that at that point, toe injury, if it gets pretty pesky, and yeah, Mac Jones might earn some more time and he's going to have to be able to step in and win. But overall, I think Mac's good, but he's the backup and he's proven he's a backup. But for Mac, this is a good time for him to earn, another starting job next year in the NFL. Just like Sam Darnold did. 49ers, we talked about it. They're kind of a QB, salvaging point. Like you go there and you kind of fix your career. And that's what Kyle's doing to these quarterbacks. He's had a lot of quarterbacks over the years that Matt Schaub, like a lot of quarterbacks that you were like, why is he a starting quarterback? And he's done good with them. So yes, Kyle can make quarterbacks that probably aren't great on other teams look pretty good. He does have a system. He got Jimmy Garoppolo. He schemed him to look pretty good. But I do think overall, in general, Brock Purdy definitely is a good quarterback because he's got more mobility. I trust Brock. I need Brock through the whole season. You paid him $53 million, so he's got to go out there and earn it, $53 million a year. But I like Mac. Thought it was good, but he's no Brock Purdy.
Watching Burrow get seriously hurt with the same injury, but just a more severe version of it, makes you want to see how far you can take it with Mac Jones to give Purdy ultimate time to rest that. Because ultimately, it sounds like it's just a rest deal more than anything. Just how much rest can he have? Now, Purdy's that toe's going to feel better and better as far as what he's saying, if Mac Jones is looking great or not. What do you think? If Mac's playing great and the toe's basically the same, is Purdy going to be like, hey, I need to get in there? Or is he going to be like, you know what? I need to do what's right for my body. He's already got the contract. What do you think?
I think ultimately Brock's going to want to play. I mean, he's your starting quarterback. He's the franchise. Yeah, okay, his toe's going to hurt, but I think he's going to say when he feels ready, he's going to go play. But if he absolutely, I mean, he's got to listen to his body at some point. And if it's too painful, he knows he's got a quarterback in Mac Jones he could trust. I don't think Brock Purdy is worried that Mac's going to take his job. I know a lot of people are sitting there already saying they got a quarterback controversy brewing. If you're any team in the NFL with a quarterback controversy, like this is the team that it's happened so many times. So I could see why people would say the Niners are going to have another quarterback controversy. But when you pay one guy $53 million a year and another guy like nothing close to that, it's not going to be a quarterback controversy. But hey, if Mac, again, if it really dictated on the toe, if his toe is not feeling good and Mac has to go out there, I feel like Brock knows, and Mac can win me a couple of games. But at the same time, if he starts feeling a little pressure, he's going to try to come back a little early, and that could be a bad issue for him. But again, at the end of the day, I feel like Mac Jones can win games. But again, I feel like a lot of people are they're hanging on this big game. You get a lot of emotions. Oh man, 2-0. You walked in, you got a game-sealing defensive play again for the second week in a row. So I think there's two things. The defense is really saving us right now, and the 49ers defense should be thanked. They need a thank you card from the offense because they've been saving them at the end of the games at the end of the day. But Mac Jones, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was nasty on third down. Like even with the drops from Jennings and this and that, he's got Jake Tonjes. He's got, Luke Gifford. Like he's thrown to a couple of nobody. So I will say, I got to give Mac Jones some credit, man. He was out there slinging. He was slinging it up. He understands the system. But Brock Purdy, I think he'll do what's best for the team. And, if he's going to listen to himself. But I do think if the pressure gets to him, he might come back a little bit before he probably should.
Well, I mean, that's the that would be the concern. Mac Jones, by the way, on third downs, 132.3 passer rating. That's pretty good.
Nasty, dude.
That's
it's
pretty
nasty.
Good. Bottom line is, as you said, if he can keep doing it, what's it? Well, I think it is just don't turn it over. I mean, he had the fumble, but if he didn't have the fumble, he would have been perfect on the turnover table. That to me is his key. I mean, you don't have to win. You don't have to win every down. You don't have to light the world ablaze. Just, complete a few passes, play with some poise, and don't turn it over. Take care of the football. As you said, the defense is playing pretty good. I think the thought coming in was, man, the offense may have to carry a defense and the Niners may have to win some shootouts. But I think now with Saleh and the talent the Niners have on all 3 levels of their defense, I think it's pretty clear they got a good thing going over there. So, I don't think the offense has to carry the team, but it would be if Mac Jones wants to really be valuable, just take care of the ball. Just take care of the ball. It doesn't matter if you throw for 230, 250, 270, 290, whatever. Just take care of the football.
Yeah, you got to limit those turnovers, man. That's the biggest thing. Even with Purdy with it, like that's the biggest thing. Just limit mistakes. And with the new quarterback coming in, you want him to just manage the game. That's what I thought Mac was going to do. He did a little bit more than manage it, but I just got to hope he doesn't make turnovers because I feel like that was his, downfall with the Patriots. He started making a lot of turnovers. But the Niners have they have a great team around him, and they're believing in him. That's what the Niners do. They make you believe, and they help you achieve what you need to do. But those turnovers can get ugly. Now, if he starts making turnovers, then he'll start losing his confidence. But I think that first game really, really is going to help his confidence. I mean, that was his first game as a Niner starter. Unbelievable. Like I said, no George Kittle, no Brandon Ayuk. Kyle Juszczyk got hurt in that game, and he was slinging it, man. That's really a big takeaway is that's his first game as a Niner, and he looked pretty damn good. So I'm giving him his flowers, man. I just hope he can win this Sunday because this is the biggest game of his career right here. This is it.
We'll talk about the Arizona Cardinals, who bring a pretty good defense. It looks like into this matchup. Jones did just enough. He's got enough arm strength. He's accurate enough. He did just enough, and we'll see. I mean, who knows? You never know. I mean, everybody wants everything instantaneous, but the NFL's got tons of quarterbacks who are, great quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks that weren't good until they were much, much older. Mac Jones has had 4 years in the league, and, he had a good rookie year. He had a defensive coordinator as his OC in his second year. He had a new OC in his third year. They had no talent at receiver. He played in Jacksonville for a year as a backup, barely played, and now he's here. So he looks very, very, I'll say this. He looks determined. Like I feel like Mac Jones knows, hey, you know what? If I suck here, my career could be done.
It's over.
Where if I go here and I just light it up, I could make millions and kind of set myself up. Darnold did. I think he's better than Darnold. I really do think he's better than Darnold. And I like what I've seen. I feel confident. The thing about Jones that's impressive is he does process well, so you can tell, and he plays on time. So the ball, like some guys playing on time is really a skill. And he's a distributor. He's nothing special. There's nothing crazy, but the ball comes out on time with accuracy for the most part. And that's that makes him pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, and I think the other big key that we haven't even mentioned, the fact that the Niners have CMC, a healthy CMC is, oh man, it's like all the difference. Like, you saw that game. CMC was everywhere. He had a lot of checkdowns. You saw the passing chart from Mac, a lot of little dump offs to CMC, and he made a massive difference. The touchdown was amazing to Christian, but that right there, I think, also helps any quarterback. When the day he was brought to this team and traded for us, he's really changed the offense. And with him healthy, I think that also gives, Max some confidence. And you're right. He's able to process things, get quick. And he saw, I'm just going to lean on CMC. It's that was his safety blanket, right? He didn't have Kittle. So he knew, okay, I need a safety blanket type guy. And that he was smart. So I'm just going to give it to CMC. They can't stop Christian. And that right there was just high level thinking, good game plan. And that was a big key to Mac and, the offense rolling.
Were you surprised that Shanahan's plan was to come out throwing and, on the road against a team that had 5 sacks the week before? They came out throwing the ball, even though Arizona had run for over 5 yards a carry. The Niners came out throwing, and they wound up, handing Mac, asking him to throw nearly 40 times on the road. What'd you think?
I honestly, after I saw that stat line, I said he threw 39 times on the road. I was impressed. I was shook, Larry. I said, this man threw the ball 39 times, and he didn't get an interception. I was actually floored that was the game plan, because going into this game all week, I was like, I got to run the ball. I was scared that Christian McCaffrey's going to get 40 touches, and it was the opposite. I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, wow, they let Matt cook. Kyle Shanahan let Matt cook. Credit to him.
He was good. He made just enough plays. But like if you watch the game closer and back a second time, you'll see that there's nuance to what he's doing. Taking an extra second, with to kind of stare at the handoff on his play fake, really, really selling it well. I noticed that. That one play where he took off and ran, I thought that was, I mean, it wasn't what you necessarily want to see, but just the fact that he, made a play like that. And then I just think for the most part, the ball comes out. It's a very catchable ball. He doesn't throw lasers by any chance, but as long as he can keep it out of harm's way, I think they're going to be all right. Niner offensive line. What'd you think?
No, it was impressive. It was, here's what I thought. I thought it was good once they put Connor Colby in. And I said this all off season. I said, we're just waiting for a major update for Ben Barch to hit a big injury and he'll be out. And that's it. He's done. Ben Barch, now keep Connor Colby in there. Don't look back. He looked good. I don't know if you watched the 2 film. He was impressed. I was like, wow, this guy looks like a veteran. I think Connor Colby, you let him start. You don't look back. Ben Barch, you lost your job, buddy. It's unfortunate. I think the O-line played a lot better today than they did last week. This O-line actually was cooking. The only one that's still giving me a little issues, Jake Brendel, but I saw his metrics actually look pretty good out there. But I don't know, film, it's could be better. But overall, O-line, those are good, man. I was very, very impressed. They were, getting holes open for Christian McCaffrey. They were blocking pretty good. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but Cam Jordan was a non-factor, really, and that's what you want. If you're the Niners, you want to make sure Cam Jordan doesn't get home to Mac Jones. And again, they had the one strip sack. Other than that, I mean, Mac was pretty clean, and I think he did a good job. But yeah, O-line was better today, or Sunday, and man, Connor Colby, that's it. Start him. Don't look back. Do not look back, Larry.
Colby, I don't know if you saw this stat, but the rookie Colby from Iowa stepped in for Ben Barch, and had a very clean sheet. 100% on 35 pass block, snaps. That's good. That's really good. He just looks, it's funny. Chris Forster said to me in training camp, I said, hey, what do you think of Colby as a pass protector? And I actually was asking the question because I'd seen him just get abused in the one-on-ones. And Chris was like, yeah, I really, really like him. I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's one of the things I'm really excited about. He's like, it reminds me of Pooney from last year. He's like, if you can pass block, you could play. And Pooney could pass block, and thus he could play. And he kind of, implied that Colby is a really good pass blocker and thus could play right away. And you're seeing that he's got, first of all, he's got a great offensive lineman build. He carries a lot of weight between his knees and his, midsection. He's very thick. And then he's got real subtle movement. The guy made 50 starts at Iowa on a really well-coached and well-schemed offense. That's the exact same scheme as the Niners run. So he's very advanced. I'll say this, he's a country kid. He's humble. He's quiet. He's interesting. He's an interesting prospect for sure. Very respectful, but this guy's I think they found something big time. I think they're going to look back 5-6 years from now, and he's going to be one of the guys they first talk about when they're like, yeah, it was a great draft class, Connor Colby, because he's going to establish himself and have a long career.
Yeah, no, I liked him. I thought he came in, stepped up well. And like I said, at the moment he came in, I feel like the offensive line was just gelling better, and they seemed to get it done more effective. Like I just felt once Ben Barch was in there, I feel like when he's in there, he's like hoping he doesn't get hurt on every play, and he's like tentative and he's not confident. Again, he's talented, but he's just a walking injury. And Connor Colby, he's in there, he's hungry, chip on the shoulder. He's like, I'm going to take this job. It was a fantastic job by the rookie getting thrown into the fire. And like I said, I don't want him to leave the team. Just let him roll. Let the rook cook, baby. Let the rook cook, Larry.
I like it. I mean, I think Colby looked really, really good. All right, let's do our sleeper lineup. That's right. We're brought to you by Sleeper, our good friends at Sleeper, and we're really doing well on Sleeper. This 49er football season on the Kreuger Show is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, and season-long leagues, and, of course, sleeper picks for daily fantasy. So use the promo code Larry, Larry, and Sleeper's going to match your first deposit up to $100. That's right. Links in the description. The terms and conditions do apply. And we're going to look at the Niner game. Let me grow this a little bit so I can see it a little bit better. So we're just in the corner of the room here. All right. What do you think, Raj? Is there somebody you want to shop for in this game?
Let's take a look. Let's wait till you get there. And we'll see.
Let's see what we get.
There we go. There we go.
Niners.
What's the line on? Oh, give me an anytime Christian McCaffrey touchdown. Let me get that. Let me get that out of the way because Christian McCaffrey scored 4 touchdowns in a game against Arizona before.
He's due too. CMC with the touchdown. There we go. I like that.
Anytime.
What else we got there? Trey McBride. Let's see Trey McBride.
Think he'll get a tutty?
I don't know about but I do think he's going to get the ball because they throw it to him a lot. So what's the receptions?
Let's see.
See what the receptions are. No, I guess that's it right there.
They don't have anything else?
They don't have anything else for Trey McBride. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, that's Kyler. This is Kyler.
Kyler, he gives the Niners fits, man.
Here we go. Kyler. He's, they always do well. They win. Cardinals come to Levi's and they win. That's the kind of the bugaboo this week. Niners are riding high. Cardinals are 2-0 as well, though, and they've had kind of an easy schedule. I guess both teams have kind of had easy, soft landings. So Seattle looks pretty good now after the way they handle Pittsburgh.
It's a good division. That division is nasty.
I think this defense is good.
Yeah,
I don't know about
they got a lot of weapons. They got Marvin Harrison Jr., Terry McBride, Kyler. He's like Russ
James
Wilson
Conner.
used to be. Gives the Niners so much fits. Like the Niners just still haven't figured out this mobile quarterback.
He's really fast. How about the Devondre Campbell defense on him last year when he rumbled? He ran for a 50-yard touchdown. 50-yard touchdown. He ran right by Campbell.
Right by him, did he?
I was like, oh my gosh. Bless you. Bless you. And bless Devondre Campbell. That's the last.
Talk about Devondre Campbell. I'm getting sick over here.
That's the last. I cannot go I'm going with the under 4.5 on my blessings.
Mm-hmm.
I went with 3. I can go 3 blessings. I can't go 4.
So what else are we picking? That's all we get. That's all we get.
No. We're gonna
gotta be more in that game.
We gotta do more than that. Let's go Jennings. Jennings is a money guy.
Okay, Jennings.
Let's go Jennings.
What's his yardage?
Let's go Jennings.
The Cardinals have a lot of defensive backs injured. They got a lot of secondary injuries. That's huge. He does have an ankle injury, though, Jennings. There's no Pearsall stat.
Yeah, do we have any good stat on Jennings? Let's see if we can come up with something. I wouldn't mind betting Jennings. Wouldn't mind taking Pearsall. Pearsall has only caught 4 balls in each of the first 2 games.
He's due for a big game. I think he's going to break out this game.
There's only anytime touchdowns because it's early. There you go. Okay. Well, let's go anytime touchdown on McBride.
Okay. Anytime Teddy McBride. I think he'll get a touchdown. Although he's got to go up against D. Winters and Fred Warner, nasty linebackers.
Those guys look great right now.
Yeah,
what are you most excited? And Sleeper, thanks to Sleeper, we should tell everybody we've been killing it on Sleeper. I mean, absolutely killing it. I feel really good about how we dominated Sleeper. The last couple of games, we've already hit on multiple, so it's a lot of fun. It's easy to win, and you can shop around for the absolute coolest possible more or less thens on the stats and really get into the matchup. So big thanks to Sleeper. Remember, use code Larry for 100% deposit match up to $100. Links right in the description below. Terms do apply. Help support the show and absolutely get you rolling with the #1 sports app there is. And thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Kreuger Show. All right, let's see. We've got those 2. Do we see what our wager is?
$5 for $17. 17 buckaroos. That's pretty good.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll do a two-legger this time.
Two-leg. It's easy. Yeah. That'll be done by the second quarter.
We're going nothing but pure chalk. We're going McCaffrey and McBride. It's like
free pizza right there. You're gonna order pizza and pays for itself with that sleeper right there.
There you go. We'll probably find an Irish bar, an Irish pub that can sponsor our pick. McCaffrey and McBride.
Hey, that's
we go with McCaffrey and McBride. Let's talk about the 49ers on the defensive side of the ball.
Let's do it.
The Niners in this game really look good on all three levels.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look close at their defense, it is the NFL is so much a rush and cover game. It's really two games. It's how well do you cover on the back end, and they've got three really good corners. Lenore's playing at a high level. They've been going at Green, but we all know Green's a stud. Green's a really good young player. He's one of the best young corners in football. Yeah. And then you've got Upton Stout, and Upton Stout looks exactly the same. He looks like a great young corner. He's smart, he's tough, he's active, he's short, but he's explosive and tough, and he's going to be a really good player. Yeah, so they've got three, and even the backups. I'm a Luter fan. They've got some other talent there back there. They've got some depth. So I'm just looking at that, and Jair Brown had a good week this week.
Best game I've ever seen that man play in a long time. That was
got a nice PBU early in the game and kind of set the tone. So what helps a young secondary is pass rush. And now they've got Bosa and Huff off the edges. And now I didn't see this forming, but the Yatir Gross Matos Mikael Williams interior duo, if those guys can stay healthy and stand up against the run well, they're a force as interior rushers. And the Niners have played these games inside with, stunts and that kind of thing. But this would be the most athletic interior duo they've had under this regime. So it was fun to watch. I thought West played well. I thought Collins played well. I thought Mikael played his best game. I thought Winters looked good. Fred Warner still at a very, very high level, playing at maybe the best football of his career. And the young secondary looked good. So this 49er defense, which we're really concerned about, you know what? I looked at it this summer and I thought, there's a lot of good meat and potatoes here. And we like the chef. It's bound to be a pretty good meal. And here we are 2 games in, and you know what? It's eating good. I'm liking that defense right now.
Defense looks good. It's young. They're only going to get better. That's the thing. And man, let me tell you something.
No Nick Martin yet?
What's that?
I said no Nick Martin yet.
Yeah, no Nick Martin yet. This team is only going to get better at defense. Mustafa will be back in a couple of weeks. That's going to make the secondary better. And you're absolutely right. Cover and rush. If you have a good D-line and pass rush, it's going to be fantastic. And, man, the difference, Saleh compared to Nick Sorensen, is just night and day. It's unbelievable. Like, this defense believes 2 straight weeks with a strip sack to seal the game. Like, that is confidence on this defense. Like, yeah, they're going to give up plays, but they know in the fourth quarter they believe in themselves, and that's because of Robert Saleh. And let me tell you something. Yatir Gross-Matos, I'm impressed. This man just needed to stay on the field, and he makes a big difference. That NASCAR package is fantastic. Bryce Huff, oh my God, the speed. He got off the line in 2.2 seconds later. That was insane, absolutely insane. And then Nick Bosa, obviously, he's relentless right now, having the best season that he's had in a while. He said his goal was to be one of the best, and I feel like he coming into this season with the chip on his shoulder. And now I got to tell you about my guy, Mikael Williams, Larry. Last week, we argued up and down. You didn't say, you know what? I got to tell you. Larry, Mikael Williams last week was getting doubled so much. This week, I mean, he was nasty in the run. They tried to put a tight end on him. They couldn't block him. He stuffed Kamara on the ground. He was getting to the outside. Him and Bosa were getting the double team. I mean, this man was everywhere. Let me put some respect on Mikael Williams. Larry, I'm glad we drafted him over Shamar Stewart. That's all I got to say. Man's a dog.
We'll see where that goes. But it was a hell of a game. It really was. And really, it's funny. I was talking to a buddy of mine who has been in the NFL for years. And he was like, you know what? They got the perfect guy for that line in Huff. And I said, why do you feel that way? And he said, well, because it's all about space. And if you've got Bosa on the other side, so he is a force off that edge. So what will create the most space? The fastest edge rusher, because that spreads the line out, because they have to account for Bosa. And then that also leaves guys out of the pattern because they got to chip Bosa. They got to chip Huff. They got to deal with those guys with doubles if they're going to slow them down. So you got to account for them. That's one. But then the speed element of Huff gives the 49ers, spreads the offensive lines out that much more, which makes a spread out offensive lineman. Space is not an offensive lineman's friend against Gross Matos or Williams. The space is not their friend. The more space Mikkel has, the better chance he's going to be dominant. The more space Yatir Gross Matos has, the more chance he's going to be dominant. And with Huff getting that, I mean, Huff is not he's not Charles Haley in his prime. No. He's not going to bull rush you absolutely into the lap of the quarterback 7 snaps in a row. No, he's an absolute track star, choreographed first 3 or 4 steps. You can't touch him. You can barely, guys whiff on him all the time. Guys barely get a finger on him. They get, there was a sack there was a play in this game where the offensive lineman got beat so bad that when he lunged at him, he kind of pushed Huff towards the quarterback. It was like, oh, go get him. It was like that kind of a thing. So Huff's speed spreads out these linemen, and then you add the interior duo that can really rush with all that extra space, because they're so much more athletic than the guards and centers they're going up against. It just creates a pass rushing nightmare situation for any offensive line. And so far, so good. It looks pretty good. The other thing I think is the offense has done enough to possess the ball and have some extended drives to protect the young defense from lots and lots of snaps. Yeah, that's really what will get them beat, is if they have to play 75 snaps and the teams are running on them and somebody's possessing the ball 40 minutes against the night, that's when they're going to struggle. But they're doing a nice job of playing complementary ball right now.
So far, 2 weeks in, I think they've done a good job, but still early. We'll see how it goes. And you're right. But the more these young players play, the better they're going to get. And that's what I've really seen with these younger players, especially like Michael Williams, the difference between week 1 and week 2, like night and day. The different Alfred Collins had a pretty good, I wouldn't say he had like a great game. You're not going to look at his stats on the stat sheet and like, oh, wow.
He's never going to have big stats.
He's an interior line.
He's active as hell, though.
Plug the gaps. He's going to be out there just rushing and getting after it, man. He made some nice little plays out there. Again, they don't hit on the stat sheet, but he does some little things that really help that defense. Like you said, get after the guy, interior rush, eat up some space, and give Yatir Gross Matos, to give Huff a little bit more to work with. They're going to have to account for a big-ass dude like Collins. He's going to take 2 linemen out. So this man, there was one play, I'm sure you saw the film. This man, there was a play where he hit this nasty spin move, or not spin move, but it just this nasty move on the line, and then he swims him. It was a swim move. He's just kind of pushes him off to the side, and he's getting after Rattler, and Rattler has to throw the ball away. This guy, once he starts figuring it out every week, Collins is going to be nice. I was like, wow, the difference between this week and last week, amazing. So these reps these young players are getting, valuable. And now wait till CJ West starts to get, a little bit rolling. And it's taking him some time, but these young players are really, really, really stepping up. And that's what they said, that's what Robert Saleh said. He says, you know what? Get your seatbelt on. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But at the same time, once these guys figure it out, it's going to be smooth sailing. So I love that we have such a young team. These guys are growing right before our eyes, and it's fun to see, man. It's fun. We got a lot of new players. I like having these new. I'm tired of some of these old players that didn't want to play, that always got hurt. I love these young players because they want to play every week, Larry. I love it.
49ers worked out 5 tackles today. See if I can find the list in front of me. 5 offensive linemen worked out for the 49ers today. Mm-hmm. Burford had some kind of an injury on special teams.
And snaps and got hurt.
Yeah, so they worked out. Here's the list. LaRaven Clark, who's a big, tall, rangy offensive tackle. Chris Hubbard, Brandon Parker, who's been around. He's with the Raiders. Zachary, what is that? Zachary Moore? Oh, I'm not sure that. No, Zachary something. And then Matt Wadzicko. I mean, I know LaRaven Clark, and I know
LaRaven Clark, Chris Hubbard, Brandon Parker, Zachary Thomas, and Matt Waltzko.
Yeah. Zachary Thomas. That's it. Zachary Thomas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ben Barch is out 4 to 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain. So Colby's going to step in at left guard, and it sounds like Burford may be hurt at tackle. We were talking about the defense. Here's where the Niners defense ranks after 2 weeks. In fumbles recovered, they're first. In tackles for loss, they're second in the entire league. In total yards allowed, they're sixth. In passing yards allowed, they're sixth. In points allowed, they're seventh. In turnovers, turnovers gotten, they're seventh. In rushing touchdowns, they're seventh, and in third down percentage, they're seventh. So a lot of interesting, that's good. I mean, those are, anytime you can be top 5 or top 10, that's a good thing. To me, you saw that stat. Bryce Huff got to the quarterback in 2.44 seconds. That's just ridiculous.
Dude,
that's cooking.
Watched it in slow-mo, and it looked like fast mode. Guy's insane, man. He's insane, Larry.
Yeah, seriously. One of the things we played with before is Mina Kimes said that Mac Jones is not in a good situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, everybody loves Mina Kimes, so nobody wants to say anything bad about Mina Kimes, but that just seems very Seattle Seahawk fan centric take.
Well, she is a Seattle Seahawk.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling her Seahawkness out.
Bias, yeah.
Is that a word? Seahawkness?
It's a horrible take. I mean,
her Seahawk-necessity.
This is probably the best situation Mac Jones has been in his career. Like, okay, yeah, we got some injuries, but other than that, we got it. Like they said, the easy schedule. We got a fantastic team. It's not that we don't have great players around him. It's Christian McCaffrey, Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall. You got Trent Williams on the O-line. You got Nick Bosa. What the hell is she talking about? That he made her look silly with his performance. And you know what? Kyle Shanahan is probably just sitting there like, this is why Kyle loved Mac Jones. This is the guy that Kyle Shanahan's probably so happy right now because he proved himself right after all these years. He's probably sitting there going, man, look how good Mac Jones was in this first
that's
game.
A great, Raj, not to interrupt you. That's a great point. That's a great point. Think about it this way. We haven't really talked about it this way. Let's just say, because there's a truth about this one way or another. We don't, do we get the truth? We think we do sometimes, but do we have the truth on this? I think we don't. And if the truth is, as Mike Lombardi and others reported, that Kyle Shanahan really did want Mac Jones, and somehow between when they made that trade and when the draft came, they jumped off of Jones for Trey Lance because of something. And, I don't know. I mean, if you're Kyle Shanahan, if the entire organization's like, no, we know you want Mac Jones, but we want Trey Lance, it's a good job that you got. You know what I mean? Maybe you give the owner what he wants, or give the whoever pulling hard for Trey Lance what they want. I don't know, but if that were the case, and Mac and really Kyle was, and there's people, I mean, Mina Kimes said it today, and others have said it. They believe, lots of people believe, that Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones in the 21 draft. Okay, so let's just say that those people are right. Well, and somebody in the Niner building knows that, right? Like we're not privy to that, but there are other people that are privy to that. This could be like Kyle Shanahan saying, I'm going to give you a master class in offensive play calling, and I'm going to show you what I could do with this guy. And what if it's just, what if it's hand to glove and Mac Jones just absolutely, Kyle Shanahan is just It's just an absolute perfect fit. I'm not saying in relation to Purdy. I'm not. I'm a big Brock Purdy fan. I believe in Brock Purdy. He's not going anywhere. But just the Niners have him under contract next year for $7 million. They might be able to get a lot for a guy like that in a trade. His value as an asset, whatever you want to do with him, goes up dramatically if he continues to play the way he did. But Raj, think about that. If Shanahan banging the table, Mac Jones, got overruled, said, all right, fine. You want Lance? You got Lance. I'll go with it. Then wouldn't that incentivize him right now to just be the greatest, to set Mac Jones up to look just great, because it would make himself look great.
Absolutely.
So, does Kyle have a secret hidden extra agenda?
Maybe an agenda. Yeah. There might be a side quest here. Like obviously Brock's his quarterback, but
he wants to win every game, but you know what I'm saying? Does he want to do it a little more?
Hey, as long as Brock's out, Kyle Shanahan is going to make it his mission to make Mac Jones look unbelievable, because it's vindicating him. I'm pretty sure that's who he wanted. I know for a fact I can tell you, man, you read all the stuff, you hear all the stuff. I am pretty sure Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones. And now for him to have Mac Jones, and the fact that his debut with the Niners was like so impressive, he was probably laughing so much on that plane ride home. He was probably like, belly, like, all the people that doubted him. He's like, Mac, he probably bought Mac Jones a cake that night. He probably paid for all his food. He said, listen, Mac, whatever you want is on me. He's going to make sure that Mac Jones looks good, because you're absolutely right, Larry. Next year, if Mac Jones, let's say he wins, I don't know, let's say he has to play 4 games, whatever, and he wins every single game, Larry, that 4 games is going to make him a lot of money somewhere. And the Niners could say, hey, you need a quarterback? We got Mac Jones. You trade him for whatever, you name a player. Guess what? They're probably going to need a left tackle next year. Guess what? Mac Jones, you can parlay him into fixing your left tackle situation when the inevitable happens with Trent Williams. I'm not saying he's going to retire, guaranteed, but I have a feeling that we might be seeing the last ride of Trent Williams. And that right there could go a long way in helping replace him, whether it's a draft pick, player, something. Kyle Shanahan wants Mac Jones to do good so he can utilize him for his advantage down the line. And again, I think Kyle genuinely wants Mac to succeed because he likes him. I'm sure he really likes the guy because he wanted to draft him a couple years ago. So it's beneficial for everybody on the Niners. Mac himself, because he'll get paid. Kyle, he's just going to look great if Mac Jones looks better. So good for the Niners.
I mean, the fact that they can win with 2 quarterbacks is pretty cool. And then what do you think of Swaggy M?
Oh, man, this guy has so much aura. Dude, Mac Jones was getting it. I love Mac, bro. Did you see his suit, that green suit? Looked like the Riddler. I'm telling you, Mac Jones.
He had the red suit last week. Here's Mac.
I think he's
Mac's in the line, in front of the line here.
He's with the Boombox. How could Mac Jones with the Boombox crew and him and KB vibing up? Listen, this guy, he's like a dweeby cool guy. I love Mac Jones. Like, look at the swag. He was doing like the little, come on, man. He wasn't afraid to get down with them.
Up there now? Who do we got up there? Who's 12? Oh, that's Demo.
So you got Demo, you got Trent, you got KB. Of course, KB was up in the front. Of course. And then you got Mac Jones, man, right? But look at him. Look at him. Brian Robinson.
Are we going to see Mac? There's
all
Mac.
Eyes on Mac.
Here we go. Mac gets in there. Look at this.
He gets it.
He's going to do something. He's going to do something. Here it comes.
The little gun. Little Mac 10.
That's awesome.
Oh, I love him, dude.
Good stuff.
I love him, dude. I love Mac Jones. I'm happy for him because if he succeeds, the Niners succeed.
There were so many Niner fans in the house.
Oh,
Cam Jordan's pissed.
Oh, man. Did you see that? It was so funny today.
He's pissed.
Yeah, of course. That man was so mad. Oh, I feel so it's a travesty. The Saints fans weren't loud as the Niner fans, and they better never do that shit again. I was dying. That had me in stitches this morning.
What do you? I mean, the other guy we haven't really talked about.
Team is having fun.
It's a different vibe this year. I mean, obviously, I've heard a couple people say these are the kinds of games that a year ago they would have lost.
Yeah, Larry, 100%. I said that after the game on Sunday. I said, listen, the Niners would have found a way to lose both of those games last year. This is why I think it's a different year. These Niners are winning games that they would have lost last year. They're like close games, one possession games, they would always find a way to piss it away. And this year, so far, 2-0. And those were tough games to close it out like the way they did both weeks. The game-sealing strip sack, game-winning drive, Jake Tonjes last week or the week before, and then the touchdown to Juwan. I mean, come on, man. This is unbelievable how the 49ers are willing themselves to win. Again, I know it's Seattle and the Saints. Well, Seattle's not bad, but the Saints and everybody's like, oh, you should have murdered them. A lot of adversity, right? George Kittle, you have no Brandon Ayuk, all these issues that the Niners have, and they're just finding a way to pull it off. And
on the road with their backup quarterback. But, they're not going to get – here's the thing about this. There'll be a lot of people if the Niners wind up a 12-win team or a 13-win team and a real powerhouse record. There'll be a lot of people that will point to the schedule and say, what? They're frauds. They're frauds. But here's the bottom line on that. If you get into, yes, this is kind of like, and some of these easy college football schedules, where you got a good team and they're playing some kind of lesser teams and they really only have a couple good teams on their schedule all year. But you know what? I've seen college teams like that come together under very little pressure and develop. And if this team develops, because that's what it really needs, it needs to develop. It needs to get better at every position across the board as the season goes on. But if they stay where they're at right now from this point, and this is their baseline, and they can improve gradually throughout the year, I think the easy schedules are going to really benefit them. It's going to allow them to catch their breath, establish some momentum. And if this team has a healthy CMC and momentum going into the playoffs, I will take my chances with the Packers, the Eagles, the Lions, the Vikings, whoever you want to bring out. I take my chances with the 49ers if they're healthy and if they can get the right kind of trip in the regular season. How the season goes matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like I said, this team is very young. They're developing. They're going to go through some growing pains. And yeah, everybody says it's an easy schedule. I hate that. I hate that whole thing because there's no real easy games in the NFL. No matter what, you're going to play teams that are playing their ass off. They're NFL players on every team. So I throw that whole easy schedule away because teams get better, right? And teams that you think suck might be good down the line. And, at the end of the day, we got a lot of young players. So as easy as the schedule might be, we got players that are still trying to figure it out, and you got injuries and this and that. So the Niners can get a good record. That's great because towards the end of the season, a team that might be looking good right now, or their name sounds good, or they're a good paper player, they're good on paper, they may not be the same by the playoffs. Like, yeah, okay, the Eagles look good, right? But who knows what injuries they're going to have, right? The Rams, right? They look like everybody's counting them to win the NFC West. But what happens if Matt Stafford gets hurt, right? Changes the whole trajectory of their team. So, yes, the Niners have an easy schedule, but if they can stay healthy and get better towards the end of the season, I think it'll do them well. Because, look, okay, yeah, we don't have Brandon Ayuk right now, but by the time the season gets to the end, he might be at full strength and really looking healthy. So then you add him to the mix. Malik Mustafa, same thing. By the time the end of the season comes on, he'll be fresh and, playing at a higher level. So you can't really say that the Niners are going to be, weak or wimpy, or they're going to be benefit of a soft schedule, whatever, because you still got to play the games that are given to you. And every team gets some easy games here and there, but you got to win them, bottom line.
Well, I mean, and other people will say, hey, we'll evaluate you on who you play and how you play against those teams. All I'm saying is the 49ers are a very young football team. They're going to get better. If they played a bunch of the league's best teams and got their lunch handed to them early, some of these young guys could lose confidence. Instead, they're playing the dregs of the league, and they may build confidence, and they got a really good coaching staff. So if Kaczmarek can bring these guys along, if Furster can bring Colby along, if Johnny Holland can bring Martin along, if these things can all happen, this could be a volume draft class and a really impactful draft class. And I think the Niners could show up in the playoffs as a team that nobody wants to play.
Those young players will start peaking at that point. They'll have figured out a lot more, and then, I think this team, they have a lot to gain and a lot to develop and a lot to learn. And I still think that, obviously we haven't even seen the best of this team. They're still not even at their peak. And the fact that they've won 2 games the way they have, like you said, with the adversity on the road, injuries, and they're not playing at their best. I'm sure they could play better, but hey, you win these games early, you stack them, and you start getting better through the year, and you never know, man. You just never know. So it's a good start to the season. It's always good to win games to start a season than lose games. Look at the flip side. Look at the Chiefs. They're 0-2. They're 0-2. They might go 0-3 this week. Can you imagine if they start 0-3? The Chiefs. I love to see it.
I love that whole sequence where Chris Jones is like, man, you didn't even have 150 yards. And then Hurts is like, we won the effing game.
We won the game, dude. How are you talking trash when the other team's in victory formation? Larry,
not the spot.
You're not even going to win the game, and you're still, you don't have 100 yards. Bro, they're in victory formation. They just whooped your ass. Shut up.
Right. Yeah, seriously.
Unbelievable.
That's when there's a time to not talk, and that'll be it. But I'm gonna let you tell Chris Jones that, because I decided
I'm gonna need Habit's Law after I tell him that.
Exactly. I went last week to tell Chris Jones off, and now I'm represented by Habit's Law. Now, Habit's Law is a great sponsor, proud sponsor of the Kreuger Show. Tonight's show sponsored by Habit's Law. For more than 40 years, Omar Habis and his son Tarek have been standing up for people right here in Northern California, and they're awesome. They're fierce. They're relentless attorneys. They don't back down until justice is done. These guys go toe-to-toe with insurance companies and win all the time. That's why you need them on your side. So they're official partners with a lot of Bay Area institutions, the Giants, the Earthquakes, the Sharks, San Jose State, and others. So they're rooted. They're rooted. They're not going anywhere. They do great, great work. You're going to love being represented by them. If you need someone in your corner, call the firm that insurance companies hope you never call. That's Habit's Law. They will fight to make it right. Visit their website, habitslaw.com. We're proud to have Habit's Law as a proud sponsor of the Kreuger Show. And Habit's Law brings us this league-wide topic question of the night, Raj, which is 2 weeks in. My Super Bowl pick was Niners and Chargers, and I'm feeling good about it. Who is your Super Bowl pick? Who do you right now, if I said, who do you feel, you've seen every team in the league? You have I know you take a look at every team. You're not just a Niner guy. You like to take a look. What do you think? If you were making, who's going to be at Levi's in early February?
Man, I would love to see the Chargers and the Niners. Actually,
that would be an epic Super Bowl at Levi's.
The last time Niners won the Super Bowl was against the Chargers, so hey, history can repeat itself. But Harbaugh versus Kyle Shanahan, that would be the storyline. That would be insane. What a story that'd be. I would love to see that, actually. But I'd
love the Niners to win by the exact same margin too. It was like 40. What was it? Like 4.
They drubbed him. 6 touchdowns by Steve Young. Got the monkey off the bat. Would love to see it. I chose, I believe, my early season predictions. I had the Bills and the Niners if the Niners were to make it to Levi's. But if not the Niners, I had who do I have in the NFC? I had
Green Bay.
Eagles. I think I had Philly and
Philly was the chalk in the preseason.
Yeah, Philly and Buffalo. Buffalo, I think they could make it far. I like Josh Allen. He's a great quarterback. So that's kind of who I had. But I'd love to see the Niners and Chargers. That'd be, man.
How amazing would that be? Harbaugh and Shanahan, Super Bowl week at Levi's. Yeah. Who's the real king of Levi's Stadium?
Yeah. Holy smokes.
That would be amazing. By the way, stand up. I want to see that Week 18 jersey. I don't think I've ever really seen it.
Yeah, look at this.
So this is you got the saloon font with the outline. You got the Bosa. It's a black jersey with the red. You got the numbers up top. Let's see the back. It was just Faithful on it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it says Faithful. I'm gonna take.
Is that a real jersey, or is that a jersey?
It's stitched. It's all nice, beautiful. There, let me show you.
Look at that.
It's worth the money. Get the stitched numbers, and then on the back, you got it says Bosa The 9-7. Look at that. Woo!
What do you think of the? What would you say to the fan that buys that jersey and then puts their name on the back?
That'd be cool. I mean, they have the 49.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
They really don't. They didn't do customized. I was a little upset. I wanted, honestly.
Is it cooler for me to have a jersey that says Bosa 97, or is it cooler to have the Bosa jersey wearing 97, but have Kreuger,
no? You gotta get
Kreuger on the back.
I don't want to see Kreuger on the back of the jersey. I want to see Bosa. That. Nobody wants to see that.
People do that. They don't do it as much anymore.
I've seen it all around. I've seen someone with the jersey. They get custom. And it'll say like William or like it's 96. Right. Who the hell is that? Me, Chris Williams.
Me, man. I'm John Williams.
Yeah.
That is awesome. All right. Let's hit some supers and then we will bolt for the door. We've got the big finish though, which I stole from Willard. Here we go. Super number 1. This is the part of the show where people run to their piggy bank, throw it against the wall, break it, and then send all that money to me and Raj. Right? That's kind of sort of how it goes. Sort of like that. Here we go. JC Mania in the house. Where's my clicker? Damn it.
So Luis said he would get a Raj jersey with number 80. That's dope.
If you didn't own any 49er jerseys, Raj, and you could go buy one jersey, what jersey would you buy?
That's tough, man. They got so many good. I'd probably
go old school.
I'd go old school. I'd go old school, and it'd be a toss up between Steve Young or Jerry Rice. Those are my favorite players growing up. So I'd probably go Steve Young because that's my favorite player of all time.
An 8, Young, okay.
And that's my favorite. Number 8's my favorite number. It's my lucky number. I'd go with the Steve Young.
I think I would go with 97, but take Bosa's name off of it and put the Hall of Famer on there, BY.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
It'll be a little Bryant Young.
Okay.
That's the direction I'm thinking. All love JC Mania. All love Krug, but we've got a dog, Shamar. Who? LOL. Hey, you know what? Let's not even talk about it anymore. You know why? Because it's just going to anger a bunch of people, and I don't need all these people in the chat. You know, this and that and that.
We just need you to eat a little crow this week, Larry. Let's
just say this. I'll be happy with Mikkel if you guys will all admit that Shamar Stewart's a bad.
I never said he wasn't. Yeah. We never said he wasn't.
It's not. I'm not sitting here. I'm no fool. I'm not sitting here going Shamar Stewart. To have him be the guy that I back always can play. I mean, come on. I mean, the one thing I do know is this. All right, let's see. We got this.
You were glazing Shamar Stewart like crazy this off. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm an A&M fan. I'm a real believer in this kid's game. This kid, here's why. Because it's not often that you see a guy get ridiculed that was kind of a badass and also played the hardest by far. Like he played so hard that it was like they weren't good and he didn't produce, and there were a lot of reasons for it. He didn't produce sack production, but I mean, this guy played with his hair on fire, and those workout numbers are off the charts. And when you have great motor and great numbers like that, you're gonna be great. I'm a big Shamar Stewart fan. All right, everybody knows. Shut up already, Kreuger.
Yeah.
All right, MSQ. It's crazy to think that when it comes to the 49ers, as the season goes on, the team will get healthier. You would think it would be the opposite, LOL. Well, knock on wood. It could be the opposite. You just never know. Yeah, that's the one thing about pro football. You just gotta hope for the best, right? I mean,
they gotta pray they stay healthy, man. That's it. Bottom line.
There's no guarantees on any of this stuff. Let me see. Did I miss one here? We got that. Okay, we got this one. Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. Next one up. MSQ. How much better will the O-line be with Colby? Look at it this way. It's kind of like an NBA team. If you take one guy out of the lineup, in a 5-man lineup, it's a significant difference. Or one change to a 5-man NBA lineup is a significant difference, and one change to a 5-man offensive line can be a significant difference. I love Connor Colby. The first time I saw him this summer, from the standpoint is his movements are subtle and veteran. He's really, really, he's not a hyperactive lunger. He knows what he's supposed to do. He understands the play, and he just does his job. He's quietly efficient. He's got good base. He's a broad offensive lineman. I like an offensive lineman that's broad, that's wide. He's naturally wide. He's got wide shoulders, just a wide body guy. He played in an absolutely perfect system for the Niners. Colby, I think, is a real get.
It looks good, man. I'm excited. I think the team could be better because they looked better already in a small sample. I get it. It was one game. I don't want to sit here and be overly hyping the guy, but you watch that game. Like I said, the O-line settled in so much nicely when Colby. And I really feel like my whole take on Ben DeBarch was he played nervous because he didn't know if he was going to be healthy. Like I really think he was never confident because he's like, shit, if I get hurt on this play or if I do this, my knee's gonna. He just never looked comfortable because he's always at a risk to get hurt. So I think Connor Colby, chip on the shoulder. I think the offense is going to be a lot better. But he's going to have some mistakes. He's a young buck.
When the Niners had their volume draft in 86 on the heels of Rice in 85, then they took off. 87, they were great, and they won the Super Bowl the next 2 years and almost won it 3 years in a row. It was the greatest run in Niners history. And the one thing that's really clear, we can debate this and that and a bunch of different things as it comes to this roster and who's progressing, who's going to be really good, who's going to be pretty good. But what's obvious already is that they have their volume draft. Like we've seen enough of, Collins and West and Williams and Siegel and Stout and even the guys like Nick Martin, who we haven't seen in the regular season. We've seen enough of these guys to know that they're solid NFL players. So this was a great volume draft for the 49ers. And it'll be really interesting to chart where they go from this point on, because usually, this is football. Depth is everything. Why were the Packers able with Gutekunst to trade for Micah Parsons? Because they hit in the draft. All those guys, the Crafts and the Musgraves and the Jaden Reeds, and they've got a lot of those guys in the roster where the Niners 22-23, they struggled. There's some bad drafts and they missed on a lot of guys. So that's really the difference. I think the 49ers, this kind of reopens a new window. It's like, is their window open? Is it closed? I kind of feel like this volume draft kind of reopens a new window. Can they get a Super Bowl berth or a Super Bowl with their old core and their new core kind of opening up a new window, closing an old window? We're going to find out. If they can get it done. MSQ says now we just need to replace Jake Brendel at center, and we're set. He had some really good snaps this week. I just was looking at some snaps before I walked in here. He had one snap that was freaking amazing where he climbed to the second level and then pancaked the guy. Did you see that one, Rush?
I honestly was surprised. He had a good film session this week. And
he did as a run blocker.
Blocker. Now, the other thing is what blew my mind. Now, I don't want to sit here and trumpet PFF and talk how great, because last week I sat here and said, PFF, but because you said it last week, PFF. He was, I think Coach Yak he's like the number 2 rated center, something like that out there. I don't know. It's something. Let me see. I think Jake Brendel got some pretty good metrics. That's all from what I read. So
he's got good numbers. Good numbers.
Jake Brendel's rankings among centers through week 2: run blocking number 3, pass blocking number 10, overall number 2.
How does that equate?
I don't know. That's why I don't understand PFF. It's weird, but
yeah. A 3 and a 10.
3 and 10, 13 divided by 2 is definitely not 2. But whatever they got to say, he's number 2.
Did you imagine, PFF? Yeah, he's 3rd in run blocking, 10th in pass blocking, and he's the best. And he's the best at his position. And he's the best. He's ranked number 1 at his position, and he's 3rd best as a run blocker and 10th best as a
but that's why I said last week when you were dropping PFF on me, I was like, look, dude, I don't get, but the metrics say he's one of the best centers right now in the league. And the film this week backed it up. He looked good.
The metrics also say beware of Kid Trickster. And he has a question here. He says, Cardinals defensive tackle Lou, thank you, is dangerous. Say it quickly.
Loose. Yeah, okay.
There you
go. Yeah, that's funny.
Loose Asole?
Loose asshole. That's what he's trying
to do. Thank you, Kid Trickster. Beware.
Trickster. He is a trickster.
Beware of Kid Trickster.
Oh my God. Come on, Kyle.
We got this one from PWS. Come on, Kyle. Debo's voice.
No. It's come on, Kyle. You remember that when the Niners, they had just beat Washington and they were in the background. They were with Mike Silver, and Mike Silver's recording the Niners watching. They're huddled up on like a little TV screen, and they're watching the Cardinals lose, and then Niners win the division that way. So, and you have Debo. He's like, come on, Kyle. Like he's waiting for him to make a mistake. I was one of the best videos about. They're celebrating in the locker room in Washington after winning, and that was a great vibe. That was a great season.
We got this one. JC Mania says D Winters is an absolute force on defense. #next Dre. You know what? Sometimes you got to be good in your personnel evaluation. Sometimes you got to be lucky. Yeah, and the Niners with Dre Greenlaw dodged a bullet. I wanted him. You wanted him. Heck, they wanted him. He didn't want to be here. He did them a favor because his body's breaking down. It's just, and it's just, it's sad. These are like modern day gladiators, and nobody's got more heart. Nobody than Dre Greenlaw. He is a tremendous player, tremendous heart, was probably one of the most beloved players in the room. And, man, I wanted him to come back badly, but I knew kind of it was a guilty pleasure. I knew it was like kind of wishing it with your heart more than with your head. And he didn't come back and look like they dodged a bullet. Could you imagine right now if they had a big amount of money sunk into D Winter or to Dre Greenlaw?
That's what I'm saying. They dodged the bullet because I think that was part of their evaluation. They were going to pay him X amount, and he wanted more. And hey, good player, he deserves his money, but the injury risk was high after Achilles tear. And even last year, he came back. He played so good on his return, and then the next week, they kind of had to shut him down because he was having soreness in the Achilles. So the injury risk was high, and he hasn't played yet for the Broncos. I feel bad for the guy, but they're paying him a lot of money, and he's not playing. And I think D Winter's cheaper option. He had the talent. He just had to stay healthy, but his injuries were never as bad as what Dre Greenlaw had. And now D Winter's finally getting that opportunity, finally healthy. The man, he definitely looks like Dre Greenlaw 2.0 out there, and it's amazing. The way he hits, the way he tackles, the way he goes sideline side, the way he gets penalties. He literally did Dre Greenlaw's signature penalty on the sideline, pushed the guy. I was like, this is it. Niners, you did a good job. Johnny Holland is so good at linebacker evaluation, and the guy is just money.
They don't miss. They don't miss a linebacker.
No misses.
They don't miss. Nick Martins can be great too. MSQ says there goes our season for the SF Giants. LOL. Bucci on the way.
Bucci on the way. Bucci.
They just lost the D-backs. I was watching it. Now it's Mayoko and Jennifer Lee-Chan. Well, what can you say? Giants, it's not their year. It's not their year, but it's not over.
They got a chance.
They got a shot, but they ain't going anywhere.
PW game this weekend. I'm glad
Dodgers, Giants, Dodgers. I think at the end of the week. I think at Dodger Stadium. Yeah. PWS in the house. Mike McDaniels to the Niners. LOL. Mike McDaniels is proving one thing, that you got to have a quarterback. He's got Tua Tagovailoa. Tua doesn't read coverage. I don't think Tua is going to be good for a while. McDaniels is a good coach. I don't think Tua can read coverage.
You think Mike McDaniels? This man's going to get fired in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but it's because Tua can't read coverage.
Well, it's his fault for keeping Tua. He should have got rid. He committed himself to Tua.
Depends. I don't know the inner working there as far as the owner and the general manager and who wanted who. All I know is it's not McDaniel. It's that Tua sucks.
I think it's both. I think
McDaniel's offense, I think, works.
I think he's overrated as a coach. I think he's a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he might not be a leader as far as
a coach.
He might be more of a backroom guy, not in front of the front
offensive
camera.
Assistant. Get him in. Bring him an offensive assistant. We can have him.
Why not? More the merrier. JC Mania. How were we blessed to go from Staley to Trent? Yeah, that was great foresight to go make that addition of Trent. No question. I mean, the Niners, that's a key position, and Trent has locked it down. And Trent played well. He didn't play well in week 1. He looked a little rusty. He didn't practice all week. People thought, oh, man, what's going to happen? Trent came out and bounced back. He had a good performance. JC Mania, gritty season for Mac Jones and the Niners. LOL. Gritty.
You're going to hit that gritty.
Gritty.
I want to see him hit it.
Swaggy Mac. Mac Jones has been a pleasant surprise, man. He's been a pleasant surprise.
JC Mania, I was actually disappointed he didn't hit the gritty on that. I wanted to see him do like a gritty Selly. He kind of kept his composure out there. I was like, maybe because it's his first game. Once he gets a little bit more, I think, confident with his team, a little bit more relaxed, and he kind of, I think he's gonna hit a gritty soon. I want to see it this weekend. Look, home opener, Mac Jones. If you're listening, Mac Jones. If you score a touchdown, I need to see you hit the gritty. That's it. I don't care if this is your last start for the team. Hit the gritty, my boy.
Is there anything Mac Jones could do that would make the fan base say, don't go back to Brock?
The fan base? No, I think the fan base actually listen, I think
or Kyle. Base, or you can say the coaching staff.
This is what I'm going to say later. I think the fan base would actually want to see if he continues to play this good, and they went out and they beat the Cardinals. Let's say he has to play all the way up to the Rams again, and he beats the Rams.
Runs the table.
I think if he runs the table when he starts, and then all of a sudden Brock Purdy's healthy, I think the fan base will say, you know what? Yeah, start Mac Jones, because I've seen it already in comments in online on Twitterverse.
Man, Niner fans are fickle.
They very much are. Once you start doing good, they will like, oh, just roll with it. Especially this fan base. Quarterbacks. Are you kidding me? The way quarterbacks have been in this franchise's history, they go on to the next one because they'll convince themselves Jones is better. They got to keep Mac Jones.
808 KMBR, Joe or Steve. 808 KMBR. Oh, the lines are lighting up as we speak. Joe or Steve. 808.
I'm telling you.
Brock or Mac. 808
can be. A lot of people will start. If he runs the table, I think we'll have people start. Whether you agree with me or not right now, because I know a lot of people say, no, Brock's the franchise. How can if he runs the table, if Mac Jones runs the table, a lot of people will start. You'll start hearing conversations. That's all I'm going to say.
To me, it's all about what it looks like. If you could win all the games, but if it's a struggle, then, you've won all the games and that matters and that's great, but that's a struggle. But what happens if he does, what if he goes, 275 to 325 yards, 3 touchdowns and, no turnovers. I mean, eventually you're just going to be like, well, wait a second. We like this guy over here. So it's going to be interesting. It's a great spot to be in. It's a great spot to be in. JC Mania, gritty season for Mac Jones and the Niners. LOL. We got this one from Ricardo Rodriguez. Interested to see how this D plays against a mobile quarterback. It's been a headache, win or lose. Hate when defenders jump on quarterback pump fakes. Just tackle them. I agree. Seriously, what are you going to do? Yeah, that's a great point. But the game plan, I think, is got to be this is the downside of having these jumbo defensive ends like Mikael Williams and these guys that are 270. It's hard for the 270 crowd to break down in space against an athlete like Kyler. So if you said, what would you do to defend Kyler? You have one of the best blitzing safeties in the game in Pinnock. And I think I would try to send Pinnock at him. I think I would probably try to send Renardo at him. I think I would try to,
Stout.
stout at him. I think I would try to go at him and see if you can kind of knock him down and set a tone.
I don't know. I got some. I already have some PTSD of Tyler running on us, man. I'm a little worried. I'm not gonna lie to you because that man,
50
every
yarder
year
last
he
year.
does it. He does it every year. It's just like, what are we doing, man? It's just we're chasing him. That 50-yard touchdown he had last year. I was just, I couldn't believe it. I was so sick, Larry. That game last year that we lost to him, I just couldn't believe it. But I got a stat for you. Check it out. The last two seasons where the 49ers beat the Cardinals at home, made a Super Bowl.
Wow. Last time the Niners opened 2-0, was it the last time the Niners opened 2? Was it 2-0 on the road?
It was 2-0 on the road with two different quarterbacks.
No, but I think the last time the 49ers started the year 2-0, they went to the NFC Championship game. The last 2 times or 3 times, something like that.
Let me see, I got the stat. I remember that stat after the game. That was crazy. Let me see. I got thousands of posts to sift through. But let me see. Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, the Niners went and here it is. They had this one right here. The 7th time starting season with 2 consecutive road wins. The last time, so they reached the Super Bowl in 4 of their previous 6. Last time an NFL team opened the season with consecutive road wins playing with 2 different quarterbacks, 2 different starting quarterbacks. The 1988 49ers, Joe Montana, Steve Young, that San Francisco team won the Super Bowl. So
it was an amazing year. It was some trials and tribulations for sure that year. Black 59 Razor. Larry, you're so popular and famous. Now you need to go out in disguise. Yes, this is my disguise. I'm showing up as a sweaty guy. PWS. Who's got it better than us? That's a good one.
Nobody, I guess.
Harbaugh, maybe. We'll see. Andrew Kroll, do you know where you can get the stitched rivalry jersey? I didn't realize they were limited edition. The only jerseys left are Ayuk. I wonder why. LOL. Everything I see is a fake. What do you think, Raj? What can you advise?
So I actually was just looking this up while we were doing supers and stuff. So right now they're out of them because they sold so fast. They're having a hard time sending their shipments. Like I have a friend at work, she won't get it till October. I got mine. I don't know how I got it so early, but they're sold out, but they're probably going to do a restock. I would just keep checking because the NFL, you're not going to find a real deal one if you're going on these other websites, eBay and stuff like that. They're probably fake, but they probably look still okay. Like the DHQ, like the DH jerseys, whatever, DH Gate, they're cheap quality. They're not real, but they look decent. But yeah, Ayuk's the only one they have right now. If you live in San Jose and you can go to the team shop, they might have them, or they might be able to make a custom one for you. So if that's an option, if you live out here close to the stadium. But for now, I would just keep checking because they are sold out. But
why is the Ayuk so plentiful? Is he not?
Who's going to buy Brandon Ayuk right now?
Well, I mean, what?
This would be a great. Brandon Ayuk. He's not even played till week 6. They soured on Brandon Ayuk after that.
God, a lot of people went south on Ayuk.
They should. You know what? No, Larry. You know what's actually crazy about that jersey? They had Diamond Lenore. He was part of the promotion. He was out there promoting. He had the pics, like he was in the videos and all the pictures, hyping up the jersey. His jersey's not even for sale. You got Brandon Ayuk selling jerseys. He's not even playing this year. They're selling a Brandon. I wish they should have had a Diamond Lenore jersey available. I wanted to buy the Demo jersey. This man's out there playing. He had to go and film the videos and film the photo, shoot some photos. They're not selling that man's jersey. It's great.
I'm trying to think if I had to buy I'm not a jersey wearer, but if I had to buy a jersey of somebody on the team right now, whose jersey would I buy? It's a tough
Michael Williams.
Yeah, Michael Williams. I could.
You look like you'd wear
maybe a Mac Jones.
No, you look like you'd wear
Jones
like
10.
I could see you wearing like
CJ West is what, 50?
Who?
What's his number? What's CJ West number? He switched a bunch.
99. He switched to 99.
I think I'd go West 99. That's a good 99's a good looking jersey, and I'm a believer in West. West is my kind of guy.
I can see you wearing a Jake Tonjes jersey. I think you'd look good in a Jake Tonjes jersey.
What did you say to your television when the kicker missed the PAT?
Dude, I was sick to my stomach. I was like, "There's no way."
You gotta be shitting me.
I tweeted out. No, I literally after that happened, I said Jake Moody left a voodoo curse the moment he walked out of the team facility. I literally was like, "Did Jake Moody just curse us?" And then he settled down and he made the next 2 field goals. But I was like, "Is this deja vu? I thought it was gonna. I wanted to post, but I didn't because he made the next field goals. If he would have missed, I was gonna post. You know, in Scooby Doo, whenever they peel the mask off and
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Yes. You know when they used to pull the mask off and you see
a different person.
Yeah, it was gonna peel the mask off of Pinheiro, and it was fucking Jake Moody. That's what I was gonna do. I was like, oh man,
that would be good. That would be good. Andrew Krug, I was hoping I'd run into you in New Orleans in NOLA. Big fan. Oh man. Andrew, I ran into so many people. I mean, Kevin and I took about 35 pictures. We had, we had people walking up on our videos, impromptu. It was quite the spot, man. Quite the spot. New Orleans did us right. I need a nap, but you know what? I gave it 100%. I gave it 100%. We had the fried alligator bites.
Fried alligator.
Oh, we had some gumbo.
Oh
man, we had some po' boys. We had
man, you had some good food, Larry.
We got some beignets.
You got to get did you get the jambalaya?
We got some jambalaya. We had some hurricanes.
There we go, bro. I saw you were at LSU Florida.
LSU Florida was off the chain, man.
That's a great
my God.
Was that the first time you ever were at that stadium?
Yes.
Tiger
Stadium.
What an atmosphere, dude.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it was a perfect hot night, southern night.
There, huh?
Oh, yeah. And there's some songs that have Louisiana in it that they love singing.
Yeah.
They love singing about. Everybody's very provincial, I've noticed. Everybody's like, I'm from Louisiana, damn it. But you know what? They've been hurting for tourism because of the tragedy on New Year's Day where the guy drove in there, and it's like, people don't think about it, but that really impacted that whole city's economy because lots of people were just like, I don't want to go to New Orleans. I'm afraid. And then all of a sudden, it's a hot summer. People don't go to New Orleans necessarily in the hot summertime. It's more of a springtime, fall time, wintertime place. So I think I think in a lot of ways they're hurting, but what was really cool about New Orleans? We stayed in an Airbnb, and we're just in the middle of not in the French Quarter. We're just in the middle of the city, and there's these little hole in the wall bars that, if you go to the right ones, they have just the most amazing food.
Yeah.
In these like hole in the wall bars, like a bar that looks like a shot bar that you would never expect they have anything. We had an incredible dinner at one of these places.
Wow, man, that sounds
amazing.
Fun. I wish I would have went with you, Larry. That would have been fun.
Oh, dude, maybe we'll go next time. We'll
you got to do a road trip. Let's go, Larry.
We're gonna do a road trip. Where do you want to go? Do you want to? Because we may do one more if we can get to.
Where are you going? I'll go this time. I want to go. We can do a cruise
show. There's Tampa. There's LA. There's Arizona. There's Arizona in November, maybe.
Arizona. Let's go Houston. Let's go Houston.
Houston. Houston sucks.
Come on, man.
Dude, I've been to Houston. Houston is absolutely the worst.
Houston, come on, my guy.
I mean, I love, God bless all the good people in Houston.
Cleveland?
I've traveled this country. I've been in the highways and the byways, and I know stay the hell out of Houston. It's like LA minus the beaches, and it's just no way.
Come on, man. Houston got that tall grass, baby. They got that tall grass.
Yeah, they got those tall roaches and water bugs. And seriously, I don't like bugs. If I like bugs, what's a bug person called? Like if you're like into bugs.
Oh God, the words
bugologist.
Not a bugologist. Bugologist. Giants, New York. Go to New York.
What's
November 2nd, New York.
New York would be good. Now that
might be a fun one.
When is that?
It's November 2nd.
Yeah, I could do that. I could definitely do that. I'll have to talk to my guys.
Yeah,
I'll have to talk to our sponsors, see if we can get him going.
See if they can help me out too. Say, take Raj with us. Come on, man.
Well, my sister lives in Connecticut too, so I could probably go say hi to her, and New York City for a few days would be great. I mean, New York City.
What about the Buccaneers? Tampa Bay, another sweltering hot game.
How about the Buccaneers beating Houston? How about CJ Stroud? All these people. There were all these people coming out of the woodwork. Brock Purdy never going to be CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud.
He's regressed, but
I'm not hearing too much about the Brock Purdy, CJ Stroud.
He's regressed, but I'll give him a little bit of slack because he doesn't really have a lot of good weapons. Nico Collins is all he has. His starting running back's Nick Chubb. Come on, he got no O-line.
Wait a second,
but he has regressed.
They had a ton of weapons. They had Tank Dell. They had all kinds of guys.
They had.
What happened to all their weapons? I thought they traded Mechie. They traded Mechie.
They're all gone. But I will say this: he has regressed. 100% agree. But Baker's just clutch. That guy, this man, I don't know how many times he'll get a game-winning drive. Baker Mayfield, respect. This man deserves $53 million. I tell you what, Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback. God damn, he's just got like ice in the veins.
Yeah. Bomber T, Caleb Williams and Stroud are busts. Caleb Williams is absolutely
terrible.
Dude, I called the Caleb Williams bust from like absolutely the jump.
It's terrible. He was terrible in college. He had meltdowns.
Just I mean, SC quarterbacks always look great. Matt Barkley looked great. Matt Leinart looked great. They all look great. Yeah. They're not all great.
They're not good. They're not. Carson Palmer's probably like the only good one. Decent one. He wasn't bad. He was pretty good.
I mean, unless you want to go way, way back. Yeah, Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer's probably the best of them. We got a couple more supers, I think, and then we're out of here. We got this one. Let's see. I think we got this one. Do we get this? Having a hard time navigating the supers. Oh, we got that. We got that. What happened to CJ Stroud? Congrats to Jim this is from 49 Throwback. He says, what happened to CJ Stroud? Congrats to Jim Harbaugh on his win last night against Pete Carroll. Looks like the Tampa Bay game will be a tough one.
Be tough, man. Baker's a dog.
Yeah, they got weapons. But didn't they lose? What happened to Kalijah Cansey last night? Did he go down for the year, or is he just down for sure?
Not sure. But
that would be a loss. That'd be a
big loss. The big loss was Khalil Mack. I think he broke his.
I saw that. Broke his wrist.
Brutal.
Yeah, that was ugly. Andrew Kroll, if you're trying to get rowdy in Tampa, we go harder than NOLA. That's all we need. That's all we need. It all happened at a strip club in Tampa. There you go. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Kreuger Show. Thanks to Sleeper. We're big fans of Sleeper, and of course, thanks to Habas Law. 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. They are outstanding lawyers. When you need a good lawyer, Habas Law. 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. They're fantastic. And thanks to all of our sponsors. There's links in the description, by the way, for all of our sponsors. Raj, we'll see you next week. Niners going to be 3-0 next time we convene. What do you think?
Yeah, 3-0. Mac Jones undefeated as 49ers quarterback. Book it.
There was Montana. There was Young. There was this guy, Mac Jones.
Woo!
Could you imagine? What if Mac Jones is actually he's the greatest of all time, but we just haven't figured it out yet.
Back then, they didn't want him. Now he's hot. You all want him, Larry.
Joe Montana had a day one. Tom Brady had a day one. What if Mac Jones becomes the greatest quarterback that ever played this game?
Okay, Larry. Now we need to end the show.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked.